The college basketball experience pregame show for Thursday, November 14th edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Use that sign-up code TCESGPN to get a 50% deposit up to $1,000. That is the Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and NFL and college basketball. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience pregame show for Thursday night, November the 14th. We don't have any games going on right now live. I'm actually 0-2. The day games are my freaking Achilles heel still. I cannot get one of these day games right, but hey, don't worry. I got the Jags of IUPUI getting ready to turn it around for me, and I have a theory. If you take it on the chin in the afternoon, that means you're going to have a fire evening. So can't wait for the evening. It's a short slate, so this will probably be a shorter show. But first off, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin.
It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Also known as Mac Tonight over here at the College Experience. Sorry, I had my hands full over there. And joining me to talk college hoops here on this beautiful evening, you guys know him from the Pump Fake Pod. He is Michael Huffer at Michael_Huffer3. Huff, what's going on, man?
Hey, hanging in there. Wasn't the best night for me yesterday, so hopefully we can get a little recovery today on the gross but cool slate. I like the slate, even though it's gross.
It is very gross. And shout out to Virgil, the chat, baby. Got it all right here. Hail to the Redskins. So I got a little NFL going on tonight in my house as well. So I'll be monitoring college hoops and the NFL. I'm glad it's not in the dome, as Colby would say. But this is a short slate. We got some time on our hands. Any thoughts just on the week so far? Anything stand out? Any team of the week that you're like, man, that was a hell of a win? Catch your eye over Monday through Wednesday?
Yeah, I feel like something to point out, like gambling-wise with college basketball, I've just seen a lot of blown covers, like just teams just coming out flat in the second half. And I'm interested and curious to see the stats behind that early in the year, because I just feel like teams just aren't able to put together consistent halves. And either if you're on the underdog, that's a heavy spread, or you're laying it, I feel like it's just been the complete opposite. So if you're comfortable at halftime, don't be comfortable, because it's probably going to change completely in the second half. But yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of a lot of the teams, and I feel like the underdogs are starting to play well, and we're really seeing parity in college basketball, especially early on in the year.
To your point, I mean, if you had New Orleans, you thought you had that one by a mile, and Lindenwood was down like 22 with 11 minutes, got it all the way down to fucking 2. I was like, don't do this. Just freaking lose by 20. Don't get my hopes up that you may actually come back. But yeah, that was a weak-ass technical foul too. But, oh well. They didn't deserve to win, so I can't really bitch. New Orleans, privateers in the win column. North Dakota beats Utah Valley outright. Kind of kicking myself that I ended up going away from the home dog in the middle of the day. But I like what I've seen from Utah Valley headed into today. I didn't like what I saw today. But, hey, time to sweep this evening slate. So let's get into it, because, well, first off, we got to get ourselves paid, because over here at the College Basketball Experience, you need to go over there and download the SGPN app. Gives you access to all our podcasts and networks, all the content. It's completely free. You can find it in the app. And also, please get on over there to Spotify. Continue to give us 5-star ratings, and we will continue to give you more and more content. The pregame show. We got other things down the road that we want to release, but we need some more reviews, and we need some more likes, subscribe. So tell a friend, bring 10 people. Help us help you, and we will continue to keep bringing you guys more and more content throughout the season through March. All right, let's get right into it. Let's jagged it off. I saw it in the chat. Trevor says IUPUI is this one's being steamed. God damn it, Huff. So what do we? So last night we called it as basically a pick. Now they're 3.5-point favorites. So I'm sitting here with a nice, pretty -110 money line ticket, and they're laying 3.5, which means I'm screwed. Huff, I know you guys on your show got the same good number too. Do you still like it at 3.5? I don't know if I like it as much at 3.5.
I mean, I don't like it as much, but for me to take like a -1 and like say I don't like it at 3.5, yeah, I guess that'd be, I don't know. Is that Benedicting? But I'm not sure on that. I think 3 is the right number. And IUPUI, if you're looking at splits around places, I mean, they're getting steamed, as you see with the line movement as well. And I don't know what enticed me, because we were all on the show like, it's IUPUI tomorrow. They're favorited on a non-con game. And yeah, I like what we've seen. And I guess the books have liked what they've seen from IU Indy, formerly known as IUPUI.
I like the coach Caruso. I think he's got that thing going in the right direction. And I'm a fade of Eastern Michigan. I probably would lay the 3.5. Shop around to see if you can get a 3 just in case. But yeah, I definitely like our -110 money line over a -3.5 with IU Indy. So not much further breakdown of this. So let's go Jags. Let's all jag it off.
Yes.
Next up, let's go over to Northern Kentucky is taking on Nichols. This game's fascinating. This is part of that MTE at Cincinnati. Northern Kentucky laying 6.5. I know Noah said maybe a look ahead to Cincinnati. I don't know if I agree with that angle. I mean, they're not going to look past Northern Kentucky. I took the points, but it's not a strong play here. I think Nichols is good enough, athletic enough, where this is going to be that 3 or 4 point game. I think Northern Kentucky wins the game, but I think I'll be on Nichols here.
Yeah, I think this is the battle of offense versus defense. Northern Kentucky's defense is super solid, and then you have Nichols with the lackluster defense outside of defending the 3, and just both offenses are kind of gross. This is one of my least favorites of the night, but I'll battle you, and I'll take Northern Kentucky 6.5. I think they can get it done by 8 to 10. But this one will be a sweat. I'm sure I could even find why I didn't take it. I feel like I could probably find a better line live. Because I think it's going to be competitive in the first half, similar to my cap last night with Troy and Arkansas. So it's competitive first half and then just lackluster second half, because defense is going to stick in with their fortitude versus Nichols offense that's got to produce shots.
All righty. So we'll go opposite sides on that one. And let's go over to Underdog Fantasy, baby. Get on over there. Promo code, you guys know it already by now, TCE. SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash, baby. Underdog's been giving away great value all year long. Let's look ahead over to Underdog. Mike, I'm pulling up our guy, Cannabis Capper's Underdog entry, and I'll let you have the first leg, and I'll give out the second.
And I mean, it's a college basketball show, so we got to have a college basketball play, right?
Yeah, it's a limited selection tonight, guys.
Limited selection. Oh, man, is there lines on Tyne Grant Foster from Grand Canyon in his return game? I don't think there's a minutes limit on him.
Oh, do you want to take the lower on that?
I don't want to take the higher, but it's around 20, so I think it's sitting at 20. Let's screw it. I've been wrong on my hires. Let's go lower than 20. I'm fading. The chat's gonna hate me for fading him.
Wait, lower than 20 points?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that in his return.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a stud, but
He's
I'll
a
fade
stud,
him.
but and he's playing Arizona State. Arizona State's not as bad as everybody's making them out to be. I mean, they just hung with Gonzaga the other night. They're not like a bye game team. So yeah, I like that lower Foster than 20 points. All right, Cannabis Capper play over here. I like this one right here. Lamar Washington higher than 5.5 assists. We got Pacific, Northern Arizona. I like what I've seen from Washington over there. And they played well out west at Hawaii. So let's go higher. 5.5 assists for Lamar Washington. Back to you for leg number 2. I think you're on mute.
Right. I'm on mute. I'm going to shout out the Cannabis Capper as well. He has made 2 in a row. So I'm going to take I like this one. Cam Carter lower than 5.5 rebounds and assists. He shouted him out. This is also Carter's first game back. So that's why I'm sticking to that one. So thanks for the play, Cannabis Capper. Both first games back. Let's take their lower and fade the return game.
I like that. So we'll go lower than 5.5 for Cam Carter, 5.5 rebounds and assists. And I'm pulling up one more. So we got 2 for Cap. Then I'm going to pull up one here. I'm going to look to go to apps loading. Let's go to is this a breakout game for Coleman Hawkins? First big game.
I said this last night. I said you're going to be mad taking LSU, and then Coleman Hawkins randomly starts doing what he does and just rubbing it into the camera's face. He definitely knows where the camera is. I think so. You're talking points.
Let's go Coleman Hawkins higher than 5.5 first half points.
Ooh,
I think he comes out, makes a couple shots. So give me Coleman Hawkins higher than 5.5 points, and that's 12-1. You enter that over on Underdog. Underdog Fantasy Baby, promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by, well, MyBookie. MyBookie is where SGPN started out years and years ago, and they're back bigger, better than ever. I like K-State minus the 7 sneak peek, so get on over there. Get down there. Deposit match up to $1,000 and a 10 casino chip, baby. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Trevor, Mike. See what? Over 100 people in here, only 13 likes. Get on over there. Quit being a lazy piece of shit and like the damn thing, or I'm going to sign off right now, and you can get your picks from somebody that's going to charge you. Anyway, let's
it's not hard to press the like button. You loaded it in.
Nice. Come on, help us help you. Throw us a bone. All you got to do is like it. I'm not asking you to kiss our ass or anything. Just like the damn fucking channel. Next up, we got maybe my favorite game of the night personally. Northern Iowa versus Wichita State, an old Missouri Valley matchup. I like the points. I love taking teams that lay an egg at home and then they go on the road in a foxhole spot. I love Ben Jacobson. Love the continuity of this program. They're not as bad as they played against Irvine on Sunday. Wichita coming in. I know they're hot, 2-0. But I just think this is going to be just like that Belmont and Lipscomb game. Rivalry game. A lot of familiarity in terms of just the programs with one another, regionality. I'm all over Northern Iowa, the Panthers here. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a game I didn't bet, Mac, but I did point out I liked Wichita State, so I guess we'll send another battle off the bat. But I just think Wichita State, how they played against Western Kentucky, and I was on Western Kentucky, they proved me wrong. And watching them play, they spread the floor pretty nice. Northern Iowa's got a lot to prove, but the reason I didn't bet it is what you said. This is a rivalry game within its own, and people get up for those games. I just think 7.5. There's a reason We really haven't seen much line movement with this. So, yeah, this is one I stayed away from. But I'll battle you and take Wichita to cover right by the hook. So,
You know me, I love Northern Iowa. So,
no, I do too. I hate fading them.
7.5, baby. Actually, I do see an 8 out there. So if you can get the 8, get the 8. God, why do I keep doing that? Technology challenge. All right. The Salukis are taking on the Cowboys. The Salukis have won 2 in a row in this series. This one's actually come up. It's up to 12. Listen, man, I like Steve Lutz. I like the trajectory of the program, but I'm not laying 12 in his third game. So give me the Salukis here. Scott Nagy and company, I think if they can just make some perimeter shots, unlike they were able to do at the Pentagon, I think they stay within this number. So I'm on the Salukis. I know you love you some Salukis tonight.
Yeah, Salukis, one of my favorite bets. Nagy's a great coach. I mean, how many times did Wright State cover a bye game in the early season? And I think that coaches really translate to college basketball, regardless of the program that they change to. And Southern Illinois is a super under team, so I will tout myself here. Last night I took the over 156, got some CLV because it's up to 161. I guess I would still like the over. I mean, these two teams have played fast pace and not the best defensive teams. So yeah, I think Southern Illinois plus 12 is solid, and this game's going to be like a 86-80 game or something, I feel like.
I'll take that. Sign me up right now. Cowboys win. Salukis cover. We're in alignment. I think we're going to be aligned here. Chattanooga laying 11.5. I think it was 10.5 last night, so bounce up a point. I like Chattanooga by 20 here. Moorhead not as good in these bye games traditionally. They're really I know they're one of the best programs in the OVC, but it's only Jonathan. It's Jonathan Maddox's first year. Dan Earl, I think they're getting healthier and healthier in Chattanooga. Their home opener. I like them to bounce back in a big way. I'll lay the double digits here and think the Mocs drill them.
Yeah, I saw this last night. I was like, what the hell? Chattanooga laying 11.5. It's one of those that like forget the teams and I like point out the spots and the line here. It's one of those I just feel the line is telling you to take Chattanooga. And like you said, both are kind of in slumps. I mean, Moorhead played Boyce and won or something like that, and then they played Louisville and Cincinnati, and Chattanooga played St. Mary's, USC, I believe, and then Austin P again. So they're battle tested. I like the bounce back spot for Chattanooga. They get it done with 15 at least, I think.
Let's go. Next up on the slate. This one's going to be fascinating. Neutral site game in the desert. Arizona State Grand Canyon game has stayed right at 5.5. I think it opened at like 3, so it got bet up real quick. Foster returning. That's why I'd like to fade Grand Canyon here. Bringing back the best player, got to ease him in. Got to get the rotations down, chemistry down. And Arizona State, man, they're in that mode. They're in that dog mode again. I liked them against Santa Clara. I liked them against Gonzaga. I'm going back to the well. I'm taking the Sun Devils. They're not as bad as everybody makes it out to be just because they got killed in a preseason game. So I'm on the Sun Devils. I think you sprinkle some on the money line.
Yeah, we're not battling. We were battling a little early, but I'm gonna have to agree with you. And I'm benedicting myself. You know, last night watching TCE, I fell asleep again halfway through. But watching TCE, I'm like, Grand Canyon's got this. I like Grand Canyon, and they got Foster back and all this, and I just feel like that's a lot of noise. And I see the 5.5 line. I hate laying 5.5. I'd rather see 7 or 6. Telling you something, 5.5 is my least favorite number in college basketball. So I'd rather just take the dog. And I think, like you said, I'd rather just take Arizona State outright and forget the points. This is a great coach matchup. Bryce Drew versus Bobby Hurley. This is going to be great. And it's bullshit. It's at a neutral site, in my opinion.
It's terrible, man. Why is this not? I wish this was at Grand Canyon. That place would be going absolutely bonkers.
Oh, I would hammer Grand Canyon. I bet they would be higher. I mean, if it's on a neutral court at 5.5. This disrespect to Arizona State. I know they might not be as talented, but hanging tough with Gonzaga is no joke. This game's going to be like a 75-72 game. It'll be close.
I agree. I K-State was probably my favorite play of the night. That and Northern Iowa, so the purple teams, and I just like I like K-State at home, man. Thursday night in the Little Apple, that place is going to be jumping for their first big home game, and we just seen them in the non-con over the years, drill teams that aren't used to playing in that atmosphere. So LSU under McMahon has really struggled on the road as well. It's not a team I really trust away from Baton Rouge. So anytime I can fade them, especially at a home atmosphere like K-State, Hawkins, Doug, and company, I think they put it on LSU here and pull away. I'm not a believer in the Matt McMahon era.
Yeah, it's one of my more confident bets of the night. I don't mind. I got it at 7.5. I still don't mind 8. I think they can get 10 and 12. And Tang's gonna, he kind of feeds off this energy of these games. I think they might play a little too hyped up at first, and we're like sweating the first half. But this is just where they come out hot. McDaniel, good addition for Kansas State, and Max Jones playing super well. So the only thing that scares me is Kansas State doesn't rebound as well or defend the 3, and LSU does defend the 3 well. So we need Kansas State to play we need Kansas State to spread the floor enough where they don't have to be defending the perimeter. But I'm not trying to look into stats too much this early in the season, considering LSU played UL Monroe and Alabama State. So yeah, give me Kansas State at home. I'm taking the little Manhattan, Little Apple, in the home court over any teams.
And reminder, everybody, throw some things in the chat. I see some UMBC and Coppin chatter. We'll get to those at the end. But yeah, Tang, and I see somebody who is that in the chat. Where is it? Hasty. K-State fucks around and buy games for whatever reason, but they get up for the big ones at home. I don't know what it is under Tang. They're kind of they definitely play down to their competition, and they win like crazy overtime.
New Orleans by 24. I know, and it's put up 89. I mean, I know it's New Orleans Privateers, and then Cleveland State, they win by 13 in the end. It's like I said early in the show, there's parity in college basketball, and you're just not seeing these teams cover with ease anymore.
How about this one? This one's fascinating. Hello, line movement. Corpus Christi, New Mexico State. I should have bet Corpus Christi last night, 7.5. The only thing I'm worried about is they're on their third leg of a road trip here. But they've been competitive at Purdue, at New Mexico. Now they go to the other New Mexico here. New Mexico State playing hot coming in here. Line is down to 4. I may lay with New Mexico State at 4. I may try and middle this in terms of, I think Corpus Christi covers the initial opening line at 7.5. I think New Mexico State wins by 5.
I'm going to join you. You convinced me, and we battled early on, but we've been pretty tight on the way out of the show. I just think, like you said, the spot here, A&M maybe an equal team, but New Mexico State's playing really good defense, and they're going to get up for this game. And I know that Corpus Christi to Las Cruces or whatever it is, it's not a horrible trip for A&M, but like you said, they've been on the road a lot this year. Attrition, regression will sit in. I like the line movement. I'm glad I didn't take Corpus Christi last night. Another play that I just woke up the next morning and I'm like, I don't think it's worth it on the money line. I was going to take Corpus Christi money line, but then I Benedict myself and woke up and I'm feeling New Mexico State.
Very nice. Let's hit the chat for a little bit here. Coppin State, UMBC. Colby and I have a lock battle. I think UMBC is going to kill Coppin. Coppin played well the other night. They ain't going to play well again.
Yeah, I just don't want to put my hard-earned money on this game as much as I am a maniac for college basketball. I would have to lean UMBC. Bad word. And then and pick the over. I'll have to sway whatever edge I was saying. I think it was talking in the chat last night, but I think UMBC can score 80 points. I know their team total was sitting around like 77 to 79. I think they can score 80 points with how bad Coppin State is. And I'm blanking on UMBC's coach. He always plays fast-paced too.
Ferry,
yeah. He always plays
fast-paced. Cal Poly outright over Seattle late. That's my money line dog late in the evening, the home dog that gets through.
I'm with you there, and I I know our money line parlay dogs didn't really work out too well yesterday, but I think the dogs are barking tonight on a Thursday.
Agreed. I ended up betting Northern Colorado last night when I dug more into it. That game is not in Brookings. It's like 4 or 5 hours away. South Dakota State's had a hell of a week playing these crazy games. I think it's a letdown spot here. I like Northern Colorado, the Golden Bears, to go to the southern part of South Dakota and beat the Jackrabbits here and hand a young South Dakota State team their first loss.
I'll battle you on this one. I think they're going to travel. Okay, so my job was headquartered in South Dakota, and I would drive in South Dakota, 80-mile-an-hour speed limits, and it's still a 5.5-hour drive. That's how big I guess South Dakota is. But yeah, I do think there will travel a little bit. I trust Eric Henderson. I did take South Dakota State money line last night. It was around like minus 140. That's the highest juice I normally take when it comes to betting the money line.
All right. Are you on Jackson? Are you on the Dolphins here? I like the Dolphins here at home against the Bulldogs.
Yep, and I made last night. I made a 2-team money line parlay. I don't believe in parlays unless it's a big odds, but in college basketball, I do like taking 2 favorite parlays to try to get it down to even money or plus money. And Jacksonville State was one, and I like them to cover as well.
It's kind of like a teaser. Bryant Buffalo, a little bit of line move in this game. I think it's up to 6.5. We locked it in 4.5 last night. We like Bryant off the loss, and then Buffalo coming off the bye game get up spot. So we laid it with the Bryant Bulldogs up in the Blue Bowls.
I didn't bet a side. I would just take the over and hope for the best. No defense in this game, and we know how Bryant plays.
What's your thoughts on Vegas? Here's the problem with Vegas. I think it's the right spot here, everybody. But how many times have we seen it under Kruger where they lay a fucking egg at home? Like last year, they lost as like a 22-point favorite. They lost to Air Force at home by like 40. I think UNLV is the right side here against Omaha, but I hate laying a big number with UNLV.
I don't want to lay this, especially right now. This is going to be something that it's 9 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to watch the pick show here in a couple hours after that. It's something I want to bet. You know, I'll need to wait to bet on that. I think you're right on the UNLV being the side, but I just hate laying it too because they do lay an egg, and Omaha kind of has played somewhat tough to their bye games. I mean, it's Omaha. But yeah, I mean, Minnesota, I think, is a worse team than UNLV, but still, they only lose by 4 in the barn.
Do you like the graveyard, or do you like Bob Morris? I battled Colby this one too. Or maybe he didn't battle me, but I bet Bob Morris. He's so off.
Yeah, I this is one I just said I'm not betting, but shout out Bob Morris for their little showcase or whatever that they hosted today, or something at their stadium or their event center. Sure, give me Bob Morris, whatever. I'll take the 8.5. I'll get the extra CLV that you had.
There you go. You know who I think could be live the more and more I look at it? I think Northern Arizona could be Pacific.
Yep, this is one I've gone back and forth on. This Pacific team really stunk the last couple of years, but they've somewhat found their stride this season. But again, there's that 5.5 number. They want you to take it. I'd rather have the dog in that.
I know Colby and Noah have a battle. I'll join Noah. I think I'm going to bet Northern Arizona in that late window while we're doing the show. I think Pacific is a fade coming off that Hawaii tournament, 3 games in 5 days, and now coming back home. I think they're a little overvalued. Now all of a sudden laying 5.5. I think that's a tad too much. So yeah, give me Northern Arizona in that late night spot. All right, let's go to your favorite play of the evening. I already talked about mine. Mine's K-State laying the number, the Northern Iowa in the points.
It already kicked off. Mine was IUPUI money line, but since it's already tipped off, I should say, not kicked off. I know it's Thursday night, but I'll go with Southern Illinois plus 12.5. I see a lot of people on it. It does scare me, but I'm not scared of noise. That's all noise to me. I'm going with the team, Nagy, in that over as well too. I like, but I can't believe I'm saying IUPUI, IU Indy money line from one of my favorite bets. The world is changing.
What is going on in this world? Money line dog parlay. We could just do 2 legs tonight since there's only 2 of us. Let's do a pair here. Your favorite money line dog?
Give me Arizona State in Phoenix.
Okay. So we got the Sun Devils. I co-signed that one as well. That's plus 185. And then let's go to give me Cal Poly in the late night window. The Seattle away from the crack house. It's sitting there, I think 7-1 on a Cal Poly Arizona State money line parlay. So let's go. Let's ride with that, Huff.
Yeah, love it. They're both sitting at plus 172 on my book, so that's a good sign, I think. Hopefully.
Yeah, let's hit that one. So, all right, guys. I think we hit every single game. I'm just looking through. Oh, Missouri and Mississippi Valley. Don't bet that.
I'd rather bet Coppin and UMBC.
No doubt. That'll do it for this pregame show. I see still over 100 people liking it, or over 100 people in the stream right now. So make sure you like and subscribe. And we're going to do these every single night. Tomorrow night is a loaded slate, so we'll cover more games. This is kind of a appetizer headed into the weekend. We'll be back later here tonight, me, Colby, Noah, to break down Friday's loaded card. And then, of course, the pregame show tomorrow at 6. Go check out the college football experience, the FCS experience, Big 12 experience. We're doing Big 12 tomorrow, too, for the football slate coming into the weekend. Go check out the Main Sports Gambling Podcast. We all come together as one on youtube.com/the college experience. Love doing these pregame shows. It's fun to get a little action, talk line movement, underdog, and all that fun stuff headed into the sport that just keeps on giving, man. Huff, any last words before we get out of here?
No, I'm hoping the covers don't get blown tonight, and we just get tucked in. And I think we're gonna be eating some 7-1 money. Hopefully, a nice dinner for a Friday night dinner we can have over with that 7-1 money.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah,
that would be nice.
Yeah,
or we just bet more games with that 7-1.
Yeah, you got to beat inflation. So shout out to the chat. You guys are awesome. We appreciate it. This is the college basketball experience. He's at Michael_Huffer3. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. We are the college basketball experience. We'll see you in a couple hours. Cheers, and we are out of here.
Cheers, everyone.